Hi, this is Marisha Trembetska for Love Your Creativity and Make Money podcast. And this week's subject is about gamification, how you can use the joys of gamifying your life, if that's an actual verb, to really move your creative projects forward. Now, I'm someone who has to be very careful about playing games, as in there's a game called Gardenscape and also Fishdom. I've had to delete them, and there's one called Elder Scrolls Legends, and I've had to delete them from my phone because I get obsessed. I can have them on for a certain time and then I have to go. Sometimes I can manage a month and then it starts taking over my life. So I'm like a zero tolerance for that kind of stuff because I can manage it and then I just get way too overexcited. So don't go and check out Gardenscape because it's amazing and I'm already mourning the loss of it, but I've not played it in a couple of months. I kind of started during lockdown. It was like, this is not good. But why are those games, those Duel, those Candy Crush, also like Elder Scrolls and all those games so addictive? What is it that they make you just want to spend hours and hours and hours focusing on and you can't leave it alone? Literally, you're kind of wanting a drink, you want to go to the toilet, you're starving, you're still battling whatever the current challenge is. These guys are amazing at making games, and of course it's the same for PlayStation 4 games and all that kind of stuff. But what they do is they use some really cool kind of psychology to kind of make it really so addictive. And there are real parallels to how you can use those kind of challenges in making your own career and your own progress on your own projects addictive. Because I am very good at starting something and then suddenly I hit the middle of it and go, oh, I didn't think about that challenge, and oh, this is a bit hard, and how the hell do I do this? I'm in the middle of working out all the tech and improving on my DJ singing psychic radio show. As many of you may know, my singing psychic character, there's a game show version, a coming of age show. It's kind of sold out literally across the world. I've made 5 web series as her, including Songs of Brexit. I'm always making things. And actually even then I learned to shoot and edit on green screen so that I could make more work as a singing psychic. So I'm very well aware of going into things going, oh, this is going to be so fabulous. And then go, ow, I really didn't think this bit was so hard. And then I swear. Now, good job for me is I'm pretty optimistic and I'm quite good at fixing and working things out. But still, it gets so frustrating. And right here and now, my DJ singing psychic new idea, which I'm developing, and there are weekly DJ singing psychic shows going out on my other podcast. First of all, I had to work out how to do the DJing bit beyond what I've always done traditionally in clubs, where obviously I'm not in clubs right now because of lockdown, etc. So I bought some gear, I managed to get it all working, and now I'm like, oh great, but now I add live mics. I do know I can find a way. I am frustrated, so I asked myself these following questions, and I'm going to encourage you to have a think about whether you can apply them to where you're hitting challenges in your work and your creative projects, whether it's a tech problem like I am, or oh God, this bit's so difficult, or why can't I break through, or why can't I do this? So why is Gardenscape, Candy Crush, Elder Scrolls, all that so successful? Why do you all get so obsessed? We get obsessed. One, it is winnable challenges. They give you challenges that are they're hard. If it's too easy, you get bored, but they're hard, but they're not so hard you think it's impossible. And that carrot slightly around the corner, you hit a certain level on something, go, yeah, I got it. And if you get the next level straight away, great. But the level afterwards, you just go, I can't do it. And sometimes you might have to spend a day going through it. So set yourself short, winnable challenges, like, in fact, not huge ones like, I'm going to make a film. Well, fine, but break it down into short, winnable challenges. Get a script, get a producer, get a budget, that kind of stuff. So short, winnable challenges is one thing. Also, make it novel. So every challenge is slightly different. So always in a game, you're always, whatever it's Call of Duty, you're always in a different landscape. You've got new problems coming up. You might have new equipment you can use in the game. There's lots of possibilities. There's new rules to the game. So try and work it out that when you're looking at your project, you think, what is this thing I've got to beat? At the moment, I know I've got a very specific goal of working out how to be able to get the mic interacting with the DJ thing so I can record it live with very good sound quality. I'm using an external mixing desk and an audio card at the moment. They're just refusing to talk to each other. They will. But I'm very clear. There's rules. I need to use this, this and this. And when I get it fixed, like I had a similar problem last weekend on another aspect. I was so happy when I finally got it done. I'm well aware there's always more challenges to come. Great, done that one next. But actually having a very specific kind of novel idea. This is the rules for this little challenge. So it could be for you, I'm going to write 10 emails to producers about this thing, or I need to sort out that very specific problem in my novel with this character. And then the last thing that I think is really useful about gamification of your life, and I've taken this to really, really far degree. I do Scrum and Agile Sprint stuff for my creativity, which no doubt I will talk about in a further podcast, but that's a video with PowerPoint charts, that one. But when you're in a game, you're playing a character and there's a story. You're telling yourself a story that you've often got a cool avatar, you've got a different name, you're looking kind of ridiculously silly, even if it's like something like Candy Crush and Gardenscapes where you can't see yourself. They're finding ways for you to add value to the world. So like Gardenscape is brilliant because you can decorate a garden but with the points you've earned. So there's a constant story of, let me get to that bit. It's getting to the next mountain, and there's a reason why you're doing it. So I think for us as creatives trying to move projects forward, especially through this hard kind of early to middle bit where you're getting going but you're still kind of like, okay, this is hard, is where can you see and build the story of what you're saying? So I need to do this. Why are you doing this really annoying thing? Well, for me, the reason I'm trying to get the DJ stuff that's all working really well, and I'm having lots of fun mixing, and I've got some good sound quality coming out my mixes now, but I've been recording the audio separately and I want to do it all in one live stream. And that has, that's kind of a bit, but I know, why am I doing it? Well, because I can see the story of me. I have seen this since when I first had the idea of DJ Singing Psych, which was last year. I can see me DJing, running the crowd, everyone laughing, having such a joyous time. I mean, I do that in my shows everywhere. Anyway, I can have sometimes really big crowds of people just going bonkers playing the game show, or a sold out show and was laughing. That's kind of why I love being and doing that character, the Singing Psychic. Or equally when I'm doing my Queen of the fucking World show, that kind of, there's real comedy but there's real darkness and taking an audience on a journey. I love all that stuff. But I just can see me as DJ Singing Psychic, not just singing the tunes, because I read the stories, I read the songs in the audience's heart, and I do readings, and I can, and obviously it's comedically based, but bizarrely she's incredibly accurate, the character. I don't know quite how, but it's kind of true. But because I can just see them, right, in a field, DJing, making people run around, do stuff, all of us having fun. I can see the story. I know why I'm struggling now. Now, I don't know what this show's going to look like. It'll be to 2021 now. I don't know how much there is going to be of me mixing versus my doing my kind of fortune reading cards, because I do basically tarot card readings on fortunes, yes, 4 songs. Past, present, future, obstacle. And this is something I've been doing for years now, and it's so much fun and fabulous. I don't yet know the mix of how I'm going to mix the games with the tunes, with the readings, with the specific readings. I don't know any of that. All I know is I can see that story of me having a brilliant time with loads of people just all having a laugh. And I don't know, I can see it. And that's the thing that makes me go back to, I am going to win over this next step, because I need to do this next step before then I can do the step after, which is start doing the DJ Singer Psychic, not as a podcast, but live, like on a Twitch or a live on Instagram. Because then I'll take it live. It's different from my actual live shows, because I need to practice this bit, and the tech's got to work. And I'm in lockdown, so it's not like I can ring like a tech person and ask them, which I'd normally do. And also it's kind of important that my tech works for me myself. If that makes any sense, because I need to practice it here. And I'm lucky I do have a budget for this, because I've saved for the budget. That's a separate thing. But I still don't want to be spending money unnecessarily. because obviously that we have certain resources and they have to be used wisely. So that's quite a chat about Candy Crush and Gardenscapes. But those three things about having short, winnable challenges and things that are kind of, what's the rules of this particular game? And then, of course, this idea of what is the story? Why are we doing this? And remind ourselves, why am I trying to sort this plot problem out? Why is it that I'm trying to learn how to play the musical Saw? I've done it, don't even ask. Oh, God. So one of my favourite bands is the Tiger Lilies. You may or may not know them. Amazing trio. And I've studied jazz bass, and I have actually played double bass before in shows and managed to teach myself what I needed for the show level. But then I saw the Tiger Lilies one time at Soho Theatre in London, and Adrian Stout, who's the bass player and also the musical Saw player, got a musical Saw out, and it's brilliant for kind of what they were doing, for the whole Tiger Lilies thing. And if you don't know them, just Google them, they're amazing. In fact, I'm feeling there might be a Tiger Lily song in this week's DJ Singing Psychic show on Sunday. Anyway, moving on. So I fell so entranced in love with this musical Saw sound. And I was, at the time, I'd been asked to musically direct a play that I was also in. So I was acting and singing in, and they'd asked me to MD it because, I'm all about putting sound and soundscape and scope, and I play and I sing and I do lots of things. So I thought, okay, we're going to have the musical Saw, and I bought one. The difference between a musical Saw and a not musical Saw is the bottom kind of couple of inches of musical Saw, it hasn't got spikes, which is good because you literally put a saw between your thighs, you bend it with the handle, and then you get a bow and you bow it. And me trying to get any kind of noise that resembled anything tuneful, never going to happen. And I was terrified. I was about to lose a finger. So I was actually on a radio show, Soho radio show, a couple of years ago with Adrian Stout. And the first thing I said to him, because we were both guests, because they were releasing another album, and of course he often does it because Martin, the singer and the songwriter, is normally in plays piano and accordion and all these other very cool instruments, such a band. So he's based in Berlin. So the first thing I said to Adrian Stout was, you were the reason I nearly lost a finger. Because literally, which he laughed and forgave me for. I persisted with that musical Saw just because I wanted the noise. It was a version of Christmas Carol. So I wanted the kind of Marley Ghost to this eerie noise. I knew why never again. I actually sold it afterwards. I often buy instruments and keep them, but the musical Saw, I went, musical Saw. I was like, never again. Anyway, that's quite a long chat about my, musical Saw lack of experience. But there we are. So what can you gamify? Are you really, whatever your creative project you're looking at is, we know there's going to be challenges. We all know this. Understanding there's going to be challenges ahead is so part of this process of any project. But knowing that you can kind of use gamification to actually make you push yourself through. Because we all know we get so obsessed when we're playing games that, and these game manufacturers are brilliant at using our psychology against us. So I want you to start thinking about, how do I use that psychology to get me really motivated? Like, I've got to get to the end of this chapter. I've got to get this thing done so I can send it to someone else. Oh, I've been asked about this by somebody. Because if we just, the deadline thing is so important for me, and I think for everybody, but also this kind of everyday winnable thing. So get gamification of your life, particularly when it comes to that. So I hope you are. And if you do want to hear the DJ Singing Psychic radio show, which is definitely every week it's a feast of completely bonkersly different music, but I'm completely loving doing it, even though I'm frequently swearing because of the tech side of it. But I do know if I keep making that DJ Singing Psychic show once a week, in about 2 months, 3 months, it's not going to be as much of a pain because the tech bit of it will be largely sorted. So have a great week. And if you want to hear any more of my podcast, the What Next podcast on moving your creativity forward is very useful. And if you do want to work with me, well, acting wise, you can of course contact my agent. And separately to that, if you want to work with me in terms of creativity or want me to talk on this, I mean, I've done a TEDx talk, all those kind of things, then do get in touch with me. And of course, if you want to come and book the Singing Psychic, she's doing all kinds of exciting things, or equally my Queen show. So gamify your life. There's probably there's something there about gamification. Maybe even dress up as a superhero before you start doing your creative thing. Maybe. Yeah. Right, just put your Superman cape on or your Wonder Woman cuffs on and go, right, in the next half an hour, I'm completely going to win. I always think I've lost the plot. I'm going to try that. Do I have Wonder Woman cuffs? If I don't, I'm going to buy some. Right, okay. I will speak to you all very soon. And I hope you're keeping steady and mentally strong and get some sleep during September, because I know it's a really volatile time for all of us right now in the world. So just find the space and try and find some joy. Okay, speak to you later. I am Marisha Trumbetska for Love Your Creativity and Make Money.